Hello and welcome to the first game, the opening game actually, of the Season 3 Pentakill League. Today we have the Noxus Black Rose playing the Bilgewater Powder Monkeys. I'm Kev, hi Ariana Lowell, and I'm here with Mr. Invisaa. How's it going?
What's up, Kev? Pretty pumped to be here for the first
It's
game.
the
Pretty
first
pumped to be
game!
here in general,
Yeah.
but especially for the first game,
There's
kicking
been
off the
some
season hot.
there's been some scrims and some people like casting those, but I really do think like the games themselves just have this a different energy. And it's crazy because we watch a couple, you watch teams scrim and teams like play customs and stuff like that, and you get some like competitive games, but I swear there was games last season, official like league games, that just went like 40-50 minutes. I don't know if this is going to be
Oh
one of
yeah.
those, but I'm super excited, and I think it's going to be a real competitive one.
No, you're so right. Another thing about customs is, as fun as they are, people might not, they might do a little bit more limit testing, they might do a little bit
Yes.
more crazy picks.
Yes.
Now I see people on the champs that they know they're good at, the ones they're comfortable on, the ones they feel like they can actually make a big impact in the game on, and that are going to work well on a team together. So it's going to be cool to see how all that comes together, and I'm very excited for this first game.
Yep. We're already in the lobby. All the picks already went through. Anything that kind of stands out to you in terms of bans, matchups? I will say, just as a note, we do have Avra subbing in for support on the Noxus Black Rose. He's subbing in for Ian, for Girat. And he's playing Pantheon support. That'll be interesting. And also, we had two one-trick rules used.
Well, unbannable rules to
Unbannable,
clarify.
excuse me.
Trick
Yeah,
is dead.
unbannable
It's
rules.
never
Yes.
coming back. I mean, it might come back, but right now it's
Thank
dead.
God. Yes. Unbannable rule used for the Scion and for the Brand actually in the mid lane. So those solo lanes, they'll be happy to get their champion there. But yeah, anything you notice with the draft, the bans? Anything you
Yeah,
want
I
to point
think
out?
we have blue side coming in with a super aggressive comp. The players on this team are generally more aggressive players anyway, and they're going to be looking to fight and fight and fight, and then perhaps after they're done doing that, maybe fight again.
Yeah.
Whereas the red team is probably more of your slow, farm it up, play for late game, try and make big plays as a team type of group of individuals.
Right.
And they drafted a team comp that does that. That scales really well with Brands, with Vayne. They have big front line with Science, some nice tankiness coming out of Thresh too. And I don't know if the blue team's really going to let them get to that point. So it's going to be very interesting to see how you have that really strong, aggressive early game pitted up against a very late game oriented group.
Yeah. And some of the things we were kind of talking about as we were watching the draft live is normally when you play against Valorant, um, there's two champs specifically that you ban against them, right? The Draven and the Vayne. Because Draven's his best champion, and Vayne is just strong right now, and he's pretty good at her. They opted to let it go through, instead banning Amumu and Jarvan, against Wicked Slice there on the Vi. It's interesting because Vayne, she's generally good right now, but she does very, very well into tanks. And if you look over on blue side, they don't really have any tanky people. You know what I mean? They like Yone, Hecarim. I mean, Hecarim builds some health, but they don't have like any pure tanks. Anyone that's really gonna get super shredded by silver bolts. But Vayne, I think Vayne will do damage regardless. So
Of course.
I think
Can
they're
always
happy to get
expect
that
that.
Vayne though. I think they're happy that to get Valorant on a comfort champion. They use the unbannable rule for two of their players. So I think they're generally on champions that they like. I've seen Wicked Slice play Vi very recently too. I think in their last scrim that I watched, he played Vi. So I think they're generally all on champions that they feel pretty comfortable on.
Yeah, they definitely are. The one that I would say maybe the least comfort is probably the Thresh over on Post McClone's side.
Right.
He's a pretty jack of all trades type of support, though. He's really going to play whatever the team needs the most. If they need to have someone that's a little bit more damage heavy, a little bit more, CC heavy, a person that's really a tank, he will really flex to what's needed. And I think he ended up picking one that's really going to help out with this comp because he can set up a couple of really nice plays with hooks. Also, potentially getting Vayne out of a dangerous situation when she gets all in by the entire team of blue side. And with that, I think that's going to be one thing to look for throughout all these fights. How is Thresh positioning to try and keep Vayne alive?
Yeah, I actually think this is pretty similar to the Leona matchup in the bot lane, where the all in really kind of hinges on whether the Thresh can flay the initial spell to go in right? Like, if the Thresh can flay the W from Pantheon, you miss the Sun. You know what I mean? So
Yep,
yeah.
exactly.
And also, I will say Pantheon, his E is also pretty good into Vayne. Like, just being able to block the third Silver Bull, being able to just block her auto attacks in general, that's always going to be really good.
It will.
Looks like they're just defending on both sides. Not too much action.
Yeah, pretty standard game start. Players going up, thumbs up. They're excited for the first game of the season too. Happy to see it.
Any summoner spells of note, I guess? I guess the Lux Teleport, that's not always something that they go, right?
I'd say Lux Teleport's pretty standard if they're in a lane where they're not worried about getting dove. Otherwise, you're probably going to go with an Exhaust Barrier.
Yeah.
So I'd say the brand's not really looking to do that. And as we already said, this team's really probably going to go for a late game comp anyway. Yeah. And I think that Blue Side recognizes that and opts for the teleport to have that advantage later.
And I also think in like competitive 5v5 League of Legends, teleport is so good. You know what I mean? Like it's just amazing for being able to kind of do stuff on the map. When everybody's coordinated and working together, it just gains so much more power, you know, than it normally does.
Yeah, it really does. And a lot of that is going to also hinge on proper shot calling as well as map awareness too, which you sometimes don't really get when you're not in a fives group.
Right.
And certainly we'll be able to see that come through with this game.
How do you feel about some of these lane matchups as we start out here? Do you think there's any like super kind of weak points in terms of like you know, lane 1v1s that
like worried top? That's my matchup I'm worried about. I love Crocs. He was my boy last year. He held down the fort every game. He did, I think, did improve immensely over the course of the season, and a lot of people shared that sentiment at the end of the year. But now he's playing against an incredibly aggressive laner with a champ that also is, you know, going to play those strengths and be very aggressive.
Right.
And
I do think Yone is a strong champ in general right now too. You know what I mean? So that's always a factor. They did hit level 2 first on the bot side.
And the hook comes out from Post McClone as well as a play, a little bit of damage thrown out, but no follow-up after that.
I think that's a win, actually, for Red Side. The fact that they did not die or take like a terrible trade level 2, you know what I mean? Because that's scary. Lucian level 2 is super scary.
Here, Brand's going in, he gets a stun on Vol, and then there's a flay as well as a Guardian proc, and you know, Blue Team's going to walk it out afterward. However, it looks like Pantheon took the worst out of that trade.
Yeah, I am expecting to see some aggression, a lot of aggression bot lane and top lane. You know, mid lane, a lot of range on both those mages, so I think it's probably fine.
Oh, we have Pantheon hitting level 3, going in again against the Sun on Post McClone. Wards off a little bit of damage, and is happy to make that trade. Ooh, Post McClone gets real low, and the flash in by Nobe to assert dominance. First kill of Season 3. Pentakill lead goes over to Nobe. Now you have Macho Man Randy Savage fighting up here in the top jungle, going in against Hecarim, but support comes down from the top lane quicker for blue side than red, and we have Vi forcing to flash away as well as Brand being forced to flash away.
Wow.
That's a lot of action.
Yeah, that's a lot of things happening all at once. Yeah. No, that's awesome. I honestly don't think Nolbe expected. You know, I think you know they like that trade there, but I don't think he expected to even have a kill opportunity there. But the Thresh just got really low off of the the Lucian passive, and he just said, "Okay, well, I'll just I'll just flash for this, and I'll take first blood." You know, yeah.
Right. And I think that what you're saying is totally right because we didn't have Pantheon even ignite during that fight. They were just ditching out a little bit of damage and they were walking back, but yeah.
It was just a good trade gone great, pretty much. There.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bladen's going to push in top lane, get ready to reset, and Croc's going to farm under tower.
Early CS numbers, it does look like the solo lanes have an advantage for the Noxus Black Rose here. I mean, pretty good that the bot side, even though they give up that first blood, that Valorant is, a little bit ahead right now in CS. I think he'll be about even when Nole picks up this wave. But I think that's probably the important thing is managing, how hard you lose some of these lanes. You know what I mean? Even if you do lose, like taking kind of like calculated losses or kind of like keeping it in check is really good because you're always going to have a Vayne. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to have like a late game carry that can, you know, do a ton of damage in the late game. Looks like a
Vi's snucking around here in the bush bot, and she's getting ready to go in, but not before Pantheon engages first. They go all in on Vol, he gets exhausted, dropped pretty low here, he's being focused out, gets flashed on by the Pantheon, gonna get run down. But he escapes. Nobe is forced to fight the Vi. Vi hits a Q, kills him. We have TP coming in from, from top lane, and clean up the Vi on the back side of that. So we got a 1-for-1. We used actually one TP from top, and Lux walked down. Pushes in the wave reset. They might turn this into a Drake before heading back top lane.
Yeah, and you know, 5 minutes in here, and we have 4 people bot lane. You know, which is oh, actually, that was all 5, right?
Well,
because Lux
that
walked
was all
down
5.
Yeah,
Lux walked down. She was a little bit late because she TP'd to mid lane and then walked from mid. But yes, she definitely made an appearance.
And that's kind of how bot lane is right now. You know what I mean? It's just everybody shows up. I think that's kind of why they're talking about making some teleport changes, but.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see how that impacts things.
I do think that ended up as a 1-for-1, right?
Vi is going to go in here, try to chase down the Hecarim. Doesn't know that Pantheon's also there in support. She might be in some trouble. Nullbay's over the wall. He goes in here, dashes, but the plant gets hit first. Vi's going to get... Oh, dash over to the... Wait! But the snipe by freaking Pentakill was able to finish her off. Pants jumps over the wall, jumps onto Vol, Vol backs away, but gets hit by a Luxar. 3 people get hit by a Luxar, actually. Takes down 2 of them in the process. Mega Beast is going to walk this away. He was able to throw out his R in that fight, but it did not do enough damage.
That's insane. That's insane what just happened there. I really like that Lantern play. And then just the Pantheon following up with the long-range Q. That was awesome. Wow. You know, and as these kind of early skirmishes going on, Powder Monkey's not really coming away with much. I think they've had some close calls, right? I do think in that bot lane fight there was, you know, the Vayne flashing away at a great time, and they were able to trade away the kill on the Lucian. But aside from that, they're not really walking away with kills. They're down, was that 3k gold? 7 minutes in, which is not great. That's that's a pretty big deficit for this early in the game. So and that's the kills. It's not insurmountable, but that's the kills, and also, you know, the fact that they got first blood on blue side, and the CS difference in the lanes right now, right? Because I think every lane and the jungle are down in CS at the moment. So
yes, and we have Krax is flashing away top as Catherine comes in with the speed boost to assist Bladen. Big wave being pushed in here. They could potentially be calling for a dive. Bladen does have R up, and they're going to think better of it.
Yeah, some early, you know, notes on itemization.
Catherine just being thick, they might be coming back around.
Looks like
nope,
he's going to
retreat to the jungle.
Too, so.
She is. Her red buff is spawning, so she's going to run into Catherine pretty soon here, probably.
And you got to think that the Yone, you know, Bladen on that Yone is kind of aware that Vi will probably be topside just because of the pathing here. You know what I mean?
Yep. Hecarim's going back again. He took the Krugs away and still hovering. But they both retreat back now. Well, they took a little bit of jungle away. Got some vision down.
Yeah.
Good invade. They're starting up Herald, I think.
The
camera there
hopping around everywhere.
Being silly. All right.
They're pretty low bot lane here.
We're gonna assume they're starting Herald. Bot lane's been taking a ton of poke. Yep, there. And they already got. Hope they go full in on this. They're gonna lose the Pantheon for it, but probably gonna get 2 kills out of it. Just 1. They did also get 2 plates off the front end of that too.
The Lucian does not have ultimate here, so it looks like he's just gonna have to walk away. Vi is hovering.
Yeah, Vi is hovering. Hook goes out so and it almost connects. If Vi goes down, she has R. She could catch him.
Oh
nope.
Man, looks like they didn't have vision.
She walks the other direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the amount of pink wards that are on the map right here. 1, 2, 3, 4 for blue side.
Maybe a top side.
To the 1 that's on red. Herald goes down top. We got 2 plates down already, and they're gonna engage on this.
Ooh, the Yone actually
goes out. Yone ult misses, takes a kill, and Yone has to snap back. Sion gets away. He better leave here, or else he's gonna be in trouble. He did not leave.
Maybe he can get him with the passive. He's going fast.
Not fast enough. The shield procs gives him a little bit of a healthy boost. Vi's trying to steal away red here because he saw Hecarim was topside, but blue bot comes in to thwart that. Ends up getting jumped on and taken down.
Yeah.
Good chain CC there.
I think that also kind of shows a strength of the Noxus Black Rose here in their team comp is they have a lot of like follow-up CC, and it looks like
Pantheon's going in. He's off the bot. He didn't go far enough. Oh, that's so unlucky. If it was a little bit further, he definitely had that pick. Well, maybe not definitely. Vol has flashback up.
Yeah, would have been nice to get that flash up though.
Sion's gonna TP top to try and save this tower. Lux is positioned top side of Brand, coming in, get some poke, clears the wave. And Vol is gonna get smoked by that Lucian R. Post McClone's walking in here, but I don't really know if there's much he can do. Throws out a lantern, Vi's not able to pick it up. She does have R. Wow, they completely deleted the Pantheon. Vi ult in on Lucian. Not enough follow-up though, so Lucian's gonna walk away. They're actually, Vol's pretty close to dying there.
Yeah, I mean, Vol's been close to dying multiple times this game, I think.
Yep.
Oh, maybe Brand!
Brand with the stun. Lux stepped forward too far. She got the stun, a root onto Brand first, was about to pop R, but Brand popped R quicker.
And by the way, this is what's fun about this mid lane is like, yeah, Lux is up in CS, she's up in gold. Doesn't matter. If either of them hits, you know, a stun on the other, there's a kill opportunity there, you know what I mean? It's awesome.
Yep. It also looks like a red team just killed Dragon, while Bladen goes in for a little bit more harass top. He's gonna snap back. Red team walks out.
This is kind of what red team needs, right? They need time. They need just stuff that helps them stall out the game, that helps them kind of like prolong it.
Needs to back off here though first.
Prolong it before Yone gets too strong, before Hecarim gets too strong, before Lucian gets too strong. Giving basically like the good late game characters, Brand, Vayne, you know, giving them time. And even Sion, right? Even Sion scales with health as the game goes on.
I think Sion's in trouble here. Bladen goes in with the R, gets the knockup. A little bit more harassed out.
The last tower shot! What? There's no way.
And Crocs lives with like probably sub 20 HP there.
Oh
wow, I think the shield proc was just enough for you to keep him alive.
That's insane.
Way to hold the ground, Crocs.
Through shield bow, that tower shot just...
Yep. Oh, we got a flash in mid as Hecarim dives in with R. Brand's not looking like he's gonna get out of this one. He might take one down. Ooh, he doesn't get an ability off. He levels to live, but doesn't get a kill. Dodges both the Q from Pantheon and the R from Lux. Walks out.
What is going on?
Bot lane, we have a dive here on Nobe, and the flash from Thresh out of turret right into Bladen. Bladen's gonna take down Vol in the process of that. That was a TP, a really good TP response from top lane in order to help get those 2 kills on the backside after Nolan went down.
My mouth is wide open. What is going on in this game? Just so many
much
things.
Aggression.
So, you know, one after another. The Yone dying to the tower top lane and Sion barely living. Brand dodging those 2 skill shots.
Vi connects with the Q, is gonna get R off to stop the roots, but oh no, is not able to get the last auto off in order to proc the W and get the kill.
That was actually pretty good by her though, dodging the the CC.
The root with the R.
Ultimate, yeah, that was pretty cool to see. Oh my gosh, just so much action in this game, and you know that little play by the Powder Monkeys overshadowed a little bit by everything that happened before, but they actually got a kill on Nobe on the bot side. You know, I think that was a shutdown for either Vol or in. Oh yeah, I think Vol or in.
It was for Vol.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yep. That's awesome. You know, they're staying in the game.
Sion's got to get out of here. He's got 2 posturing his way. Looks like he's retreating. He stops, doesn't keep going. Captain goes in bot. He might be a little over his head here. Maybe not. Bladen comes in to help. Vol does not have R up quite yet, so he's not able to dish up as much damage as he'd probably like to. If he had R, that play might have gone differently. Oh, Bladen R's in himself, though, and is able to get the knock up and the kill onto Vol.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm guessing, you know, since the ult was not used in that fight, I think they just kind of assumed that the ult was down. So just sticking around a little bit too long there. Taking a look at items across the board before anything happens.
Good luck with that.
Quick. Looks like a lot of mythics coming out already. I think the biggest difference right now is probably on the bot side where Vayne still does not have the shield book completed, but Lucian has that Gale Force. Always really, really useful with his ultimate to kind of run people down.
Ooh, we're going to see Hecarim get seen here in the jungle, gets a hook, and potentially will get collapsed on. Vi jumps the wall, gets a slow. Cyan's there to help as well, and Brand might get the kill here. Yep, he picks it up.
Yeah, and I think as you start to see these mythics come out from these, from the carries on the powder monkeys, you'll see a lot more damage coming out. You know what I mean? It's a huge spike from Brand to have that the Leandries. You know what I mean? It's an insane spike. The Vayne just being able to survive and hit longer when she has that shield bow is gonna
well, that root hits on Cyan. He follows up by a stun from the Pantheon. He's forced to flash away.
Good flash there. Looks like they're re-engaging.
That was through a huge wave. That's unlucky. Cyan ults in. Ooh, and Vi gets caught with another stun. These stuns are on point.
Yeah. And they actually...
Nolan drops the ult. He jumps in. Gale forces forward. Bull pops R in order to try and body block for the Thresh.
Not only do they have a lot of...
Blade and ult in though, just all in on this. Picks up 2 kills, steps back. Wow. Yeah. Actually, Lux is the one that picked up the kills, but nice engaged by Blade.
I mean, they just have a great kind of team fight and kind of follow up here. Not only do they have a lot of like crowd control that they can follow each other's CC up with. If Lux ever hits a stun, you're getting ulted by Hecarim, you're getting stunned by Pantheon, you're getting stunned by
yeah. I mean, heck,
by Yone ultimate.
Pantheon can just jump in first.
Yeah. But they also have a lot of damage, right? Like even if one of the tankier members
might be in trouble here. Spotted out. Might get engaged on. Lantern comes down, but a stun followed up into Luxar. You can't get away from that. Like we just said, deploying clicks CC. What are you gonna do?
Right. A lot of like kind of up and down gameplay here. It started off really, really good for the Noxus Black Rose, and I think it was 8-8 at one point after that. Like they were able to kind of claw back some kills and get some plays going. And since it was 8-8, the Powder Monkeys have gotten 1 kill and what is that math?
Yeah.
I don't know, 9 kills, on the blue side. So yeah,
and they're just starving resources everywhere. They've taken like all of Vi's jungle. Look at the CS leads now. We have like twice.
Yeah.
The double the CS in top lane.
And you can mitigate
CS disparity in mid.
And you can mitigate damage sometimes. You can do damage control and try to not really lose as hard as you can and keep up in CS. But at some point, once the other team hits their power spikes, like if they fight around those power spikes, it's gonna catch up to you. You know what I mean? Like being down in gold is so much worse when they have like 2 items and you have 1.5, as opposed to like you both being on 2 items, even if they have like a component on top of that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
I think that's kind of where they're at here, is like where Vayne and Brand hadn't really gotten their mythics yet, and Lux is on 2 items. You know what I mean? It's rough. It's a rough kind of timing in the game for them to fight.
Yeah, they just want to make it to late. But again, like I said at the beginning of the game, I don't know that blue team's gonna let them make it late.
Yeah. Looking at the gold here that got pulled up, it looks like a huge difference.
10.5, 10.7k.
Yeah. Like if you check
Cyan's
out the
a little further extended than he should be. He has R, he can get out of this. He doesn't choose to pop it, and he's gonna get walked down. He could have gotten out there.
Yeah. I think really hard to be in a lane right now in a side lane. With kind of like how the vision has worked out.
Yeah, Yone's pushing bot too, and he has just had Herald popped, so he's got 2 people on the bot side though. So Vi sees this potential opportunity, goes in, ults onto the Lux. They get to kill Pantheon in the process and chase Lux down. Flash from both people and gets the kill. They both trade. Yeah. Honestly, that's the best you can do right now.
I agree. I mean, if you're losing, you're pretty much going to lose whatever is going on bot side there. So you might as well try to make a play and get some kills. They weren't able to get the Lucian, but, getting the shutdown on Lux.
They did get his exhaust, and he didn't really contribute to that fight. So that's okay. Ooh, Krox gets taken really low. Bladen dives in, gets double kill, just snaps back. On the top side, though, Bull's able to pick up Lucian.
Yeah, nice little play there.
But Bladen's huge. He might get another kill right here. Oh, taking too many tower shots. Might have to get out. His Shipbo just got procced.
So
she can't really chase this.
I mean, even if she catches up to him.
Brand's shadowing, but...
Does she even win if she catches up? I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
No, yeah, see...
Doesn't look like it.
Look, Brand's there, but not enough. Oop, but Volt's here now. Maybe to win it.
Yeah.
Okay. But not before Bladen picks up another kill. Pantheon ults in down, bot. Probably a little bit too late on that. Vol's able to drop down the exhaust and fight this out, but not before taking a lot of damage. Thresh is here to support. Makes Vayne feel a little more comfortable. Pantheon flashes away. Bull's still running her down.
Look, I
and
mean,
Lux is hovering over.
It's not great what just happened bot lane with the Yone. That it's not great that he got all those kills and got the inhibitor and, you know. But at the very least, you know, Vayne picks up the shutdown on him. And that's actually a 1k gold shutdown. Because I think he still has the shutdown. So that was a 700 gold one. Plus, you know, the 300 gold. So, you know, a big influx of money there for the Vayne.
Absolutely. We have 2 people showing bot right now for red side. And it looks like there might be a Baron rush because of that. Although, Cathan's on it by himself. Maybe the call was made, but... There you go. Now everyone's going to it.
I also want to say, like, in terms of... Well,
I think Vi's going to go for a steal here. Yeah. I mean, Wicked Slice is definitely known for his objective control.
Oh my god,
and he takes it! I'm telling you! His swipe button is not broken, boys. But we have Blade jumping over the wall, picks up a kill. Heckham's going to run down Cyan. Cyan flashes away. Still getting slowed here with red buff. He might not be able to make it out of this. Oh no. The Thresh Lantern comes out just a second too late.
It looked like he tried to pick the Lantern up in his passive. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that he stole the Baron. It hurts. It still kind of hurts that, you know, they're so far behind. They might not be able to stall it out as much as...
Nah, I don't think so anymore. This is one of my biggest pet peeves, though. You know you're really far behind. You know your only hope is to maybe get a Baron steal. If that's gonna happen, let your jungle int run down and take it.
And run away.
No one else has to be there.
Right.
Like, they lose 3 more people for that fight for literally no reason. I mean, they weren't involved in the fight, they just got run down after.
It's insanely useful to have 3 people with Baron on the, like, with the team on the back foot. Because you just put one in each lane. And then they can't push, you know what I mean? Like, they shouldn't be able to push hard against that. I will say, in terms of kind of, like, coming back into games this season with this new dragon, this Chemtech Soul, makes it very, very difficult. Not just the Soul. I mean, the Soul's pretty good, but the way the map changes with these invisible...
such a big deal.
It's insane. It's insanely difficult as a support to ward and, like, kind of keep, you know, keep that jungle kind of under control. Even your own side of the jungle. That's a good flash there. It's very difficult as someone who's side laning to not die to people just kind of walking through. It's hard to farm as a jungler. It just makes it so difficult. So yeah.
I know. I don't understand why Chemtech map was a thing.
Yeah,
there were so many different tools that were put into place this season to help teams that are behind come back, and they put this in. And it's probably like the biggest counter to that.
Right.
That they could have possibly ever made. Vision is so important in this game. Your only way to really come back is to have, you know, map control.
Yeah, it's at a 91% win rate or something for, like, the team that, like, is winning. So
I am not surprised.
So yeah, that sucks. And I think
blue team walk down, take a tower here and an inhib, and they're just gonna probably all group top now as they have 2 inhibs down, and red can't do much about it.
I mean, it's kind of crazy because there's a lot going on, and it feels like... Let's see if the side
didn't get some good... No, but Cyan's able to walk away.
There's
like
a lot...
talking about division.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in this game, and it kind of feels like it's been going on longer than it has. We're only 23 minutes in, you know what I mean? Like, we're only on the... Like, that was the 4th dragon of the game. It's just a lot of action early game. Kind of makes these games accelerate and feel a little bit longer than they actually are, and also kind of go faster, right? Like, when there's more kills, there's more items coming out, and, you know, power levels are...
Cathan's gonna jump in here on Brand, gets an ult down, and is able to take away the Brand down, but he might also die. He's taking a lot of tower shots. Sayonara lands, and he does fall down. 1 for 1 so far.
Yeah, I mean,
not
too bad. Take a 1 for 1 at any point.
Oh no, Cyan ended up throwing his Q the other direction and ends up getting taken down. But in the mid lane, another shutdown goes to Vol on Bladen. So now we're 2 for 2.
Yeah.
They might be able to save this inhib top. Going down 3 inhibs does not feel good.
Yeah, this is definitely the inhib you want to defend hard.
Yep. But they're not really committing, so they're just going to lose it, I think. And Lux R connects on 2, but no one actually dies there. It does pop Vayne's shield bow, which could be a big deal if they end up trying to fight on the to save bot inhib, which now just came up.
I mean, it doesn't look like they're going to be...
I don't think they really can. They have to deal with minions that are on next towers.
That's rough. I mean, at this point in the game, Minion scale, right? Minion scale as the game goes on. They get stronger, they get more HP. But at this point in the game, 25 minutes in, double inhibitor or double super minions in each lane, that's very, very hard to defend. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially because you don't have, like, I mean, I guess Brand's pretty good at clearing minions. But,
Yeah.
you don't have multiple kind of traditional, really good wave clearers. Like, Vayne's good at killing the super minions, but she doesn't have, like, the AoE kind of clear that some AD carries have. So, I don't know. It's not going to be the easiest to just not lose to minions. You know what I mean? And what ends up happening here, as you get double super minions in each lane, is you end up kind of like pushing out a little bit further to kind of like delay how close the minions get to your towers. You know what I mean? And that's dangerous, right? Like
It is.
it's scary.
Especially on this map.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Which look like they're trying to do it right now. Sion tried to back in a bush, and he's going to get run down. He ults away in order to maintain some safety. But you have bot lane shoved out decently from red side, while both mid and top are being shoved in really hard from blue side. Like you said, those double supers are going to be a big deal. Vol's not in a great spot here. He does have Thresh to back him up, but he gets immediately jumped on and exhausted, and he goes down. And immediately following that is Vi. She tries to connect onto the Lucian, but is not able to get it. Brand ult goes out, bounces around several times, but not enough to finish anyone off. And the rest of the team gets cleaned up here. Krax goes down. Nexus Tower 1, Nexus Tower 2, followed immediately by the Nexus.
Yeah, looks like that's going to be it. I do think the early game was crazy, a lot going on, and they kind of, they fought their way back into it, but it was just too much. The advantages were too much by the end, and that wasn't even a fight really, right? That was just kind of them getting picked off really there. They weren't really able to like kind of do anything to kind of come back from that fight. But yeah.
Yep, definitely not much else could be done about that. Well, here we go. That's the first game of Season 3 of the Pentakill League.
That's how it
What
starts.
are your overall thoughts about how things started off for this year?
I think the Noxus Black Rose will be really happy with how they played. I do think that looking back on this game, the Powder Monkeys will kind of like see where they tried to slow the game down and gain some advantages back. You know what I mean? And I think that was really good for them. But it's hard with that soul. You know what I mean? And with a team comp that's really relying on that Vayne to kind of like get items and scale, and they weren't able to do that. It's just it's just difficult. MVP of the game for you? Maybe we can. Maybe we'll have the same one here.
Honestly, I think the Yone was my MVP that game.
Yeah, just pulled so much pressure, right? Like he was individually strong, and he was able to just kind of do whatever he wanted. 1v3.
Yep, he had really a couple nice TP plays where Bilgewater was coming back, and they had a couple of good opportunities to get back into the game early on, and he thwarted it twice with a really nice TP, and then picking up double kills on both of his TPs, which is a really big deal, and then translated that goal right back to top to get first tower, pushed that down, immediately went bot lane again, and took bot and pushed that in as well. And then we kind of saw him just handling 4 people by himself. That's what happens when you have Yone get really ahead.
Yep. Cool. So that's the first game in the books. The Noxus Black Rose take down the Bilgewater Powder Monkeys. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for casting with me, Invisaa.
Thank you.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
GG's.